How are you doing, homesteaders and preppers? Thanks for coming back. Please like and subscribe for future episodes of The Sustainable Prepper. Here we're going to talk about soil and water. First up is soil. Now, believe it or not, for 2020, I started my soil the season before. I pulled all of the manure from the rabbit cages, the chicken coop, and the goat barn, and made sure that that went right into the compost. And my composter is literally just piled in an area and surrounded by cattle panels so the larger critters don't get in and move it around. The chickens help scratch and turn it over, but my goodness, an abundance of worms really loves helping work that compost down. So once that's all nice and broken down through the whole season, I get to fall, like right now, and I start moving that compost to the greenhouse. Come late winter, early spring, like you see here, I start working that compost in a 50-50 mix of the compost and the peat moss. Sometimes I use mushroom compost, but overwhelmingly it's peat moss. And I get that blend really nice. You can see here the texture is nice. It's not too fluffy with peat moss. It's not too heavy with compost. I make sure it's all broken down and very workable. And then that way, everything in my greenhouse, my pots, the tubs, outside in pots that I'll move to the patio or the deck, really loves this blend. Now, I don't have a preference of peat moss. I have used quite a few different brands. Years ago, when I first started using peat moss, it cost me about $3 for a 3 or 4 cubic foot. Today, this year, it was $9 to $12 depending on where you went. So thank goodness I had most of a bag from last year, and then I bought one more bag for $9 at a local store, and that got me going. So once you got that soil ready, you definitely need some water. Let me show you how I get water to the greenhouse. And you know, we can't talk about soil without talking about water, because those are our basis for getting this garden going, right? I have a little innovation in the greenhouse. I did this years ago when I had found a small stainless steel sink at an auction. And I took a pallet, took out a couple of the boards, and basically recessed this little thing into this greenhouse table. And I can funnel in the water by using one of those hand pumps. And once that suction gets going, I don't even have to work hard to wash my hands or bring water into the greenhouse. So about every year, well, sometimes I can stretch it to 2. I do have to buy a new little hand pump. That plastic just rots away from the heat in the greenhouse. But literally it's it looks a little odd. I would love to have a little running water, but you know what? That's just too much effort and economically it's just not feasible. So this works wonderful, and this pump here just isn't doing real great. The long spout had broken off, so I do need to run and grab a new one and replace this. But in the meantime, this works. So I have a little hole through my plastic. I will seal that up. But in the summer, it really doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to hook this sink up, but this little bitty sink turned out to be such a cute little find. What are you doing? No, 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 no. So after finally remembering, I did go out to the farm store to grab me another pump. I finally replaced this. I messed with that for a few weeks and I replaced it. So I use a couple simple things. A water hose that we discarded. I just cut off the ends that I didn't need and made it to the length to reach to the water barrels. And I use these clamps that I stole from the husband's garage, but they work wonderful to try to maintain some suction from this pump. So basically, the solid tube that siphons from the water barrel, I pop down into this water hose. And then I'll go ahead and, oh, now don't do like I did when I first started doing this. I forget to put the washer, the clamp on. But when I put the clamp on the water hose, got it almost to the tightness that I needed, but enough to slide that spout down into that water hose. And then we're good. So this is an older water hose. It needed some trimming. And over time, it just kind of wallows out. So quick trim, and we're good to go again.
Hi, here we are in the greenhouse, and I do got a little bug problem going on, so I'm going to do a little bit more soap and peppermint spray to get rid of that. But it's been fabulous using this little system of mine, and since it's primed up, I can just unclip that and get that water going. So pop it back when I don't need it. I might change that sometime, but you know what, it's worked so well, why bother it now? But I've got a full bucket of water in here, and then outside I have several buckets that I'm going to move one to the hay barn, so I have some water, maybe two, water up by the garden, and then that'll leave me at least two down here for the greenhouse. It's usually all I need between rains. But just want you guys to see how I end up using this. This, like I said, I got it from an auction, or it could have even been a yard sale. Might have even been a yard sale. And I know I didn't spend more than a few bucks. So I even kept all the fixture brackets just in case I change your mind and do something else with it. But it works wonderful in here, and it's just the perfect size, out of the way, tucked into the pallet tables that I made to put my seedlings on. Works wonderful. So that's what I have to share today. I would love to see and hear about your little innovations to help your gardening season go a little bit smoother and easier. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get everything watered in here, take care of my little bug problem on some of my greens. It's those little, I don't know what they're called. Those little aphids? Yeah, there you go. They're usually not hard to take care of if you stay on top of them. And I need to check out, I went and clipped short to get these guys to fluff up, but I'm also going to have to move them out of direct sun. So I got some things to do. And I need to replant some more seeds for lettuce and some greens. I have a hen who said that I was not using this tub for greens, and I have another video that's coming up where this was just beautiful, and then it kind of and I went to reseed and transplant some of the seedlings, and I was just gonna, yeah, I'll talk about that in another video. But that hen came and trampled everything down, so I need to work on a screen door for my greenhouse or something, and I'm wondering what I might use from the scrap pile to do that. So many videos that can be coming up soon. Trying my best, but this is a one-woman show here, editing, cleaning some barns, and gardening. So I apologize that it takes a while sometimes for me to get things up, and I absolutely love seeing what everyone else is sharing as well. I will chat with you later. Take care.